And as you can see, coming up right now, it's one of the crowd favorites of any finals day. It is the men's doubles final, which this afternoon is pitting Li Shengmu and Fang Chieh of Chinese Taipei against the Beijing Olympic Games gold medalists, the independents from Indonesia, as they are at this tournament, operating outside the national team. Markis Kido Hendra Setiawan. I'm joined by a man that knows more than his fair share about men's doubles. Three-time Australian Open men's doubles winner, Mark Nichols. And Mark, this is the one where it's just a thriller minute for the crowd, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's the game I've been waiting for all day. It's my favourite, the men's doubles. There's no secret about that. And look, we're looking forward to a magnificent game. Both pairs have the most amazing defence and rock-solid attack. So it'll be very interesting to see how this one plays out. The Olympic champions from Beijing versus the up-and-coming players from Taipei. They have been a revelation at this tournament and really have set themselves onto a great course for the upcoming Olympics.
Well, Fang Chieh and Li Shengmu, they're the number 3 seeds here at the tournament. And there is Markis Kido, one of the shorter men on the circuit, but with a fabulous leap and such power, as you can see, the barrel chest. But he is a man that really pushes well over the 250 k's an hour with his smashes. His partner Hendra Setiawan as well. It's their first final of 2012. Semi-finalists at Denmark, Japan, Indonesia and the Asian Championships quarterfinals last year as well. They have the pedigree, and as you can see, they were pushed all the way by Pratama and Saputra yesterday, and it's been a plenty of action-packed week for them, hasn't it, up against their compatriots in the quarterfinals and semi-finals. And coming through it today, it's the pair from Chinese Taipei, world number 10, this pair of Fang and Li. They have been as high as number 3 in the world as well. With a runner-up silver medal at the Swiss Open just a couple of weeks ago. And they also won the Malaysian Open already this year. As we see how they made it this far, for them it was the Japanese in the quarterfinals and the semi-finals. And the fantastic men's double action coming up from Sydney in a couple of moments' time. Well, Mark, the power and the speed of the game. Is there time to think when you're out there playing it? Do you have your game plan when you're taking on an opponent, when everything's moving so quickly?
Oh, I think you definitely have time to set up your structures. There's probably no time to think you're reacting. You're playing to the structures that you've developed over the years, and you have a great understanding with your partner on court. You'll see how quickly and how well they cover the court. You know, a lot of people would wonder how they don't run into each other, but that's taken years of development to understand how to cover the court in that way. So it's going to be an exciting match, and look for some really big smashes from Kido.
Can we get a prediction out of you very quickly?
Oh, look, I'd like to see the Taipei pair, the young Taipei pair, come up trumps today.
Well, Sydney, for many, was put on the map by the Olympic Games of 2000. That was that fabulous Homebush Olympic Stadium, but it also has that 200-year history, the old streets of the Rocks part of Sydney. We're not far from there here at the Sydney Convention and Exhibition Centre, which has been transformed into this world-class badminton event for this week. And the Australian Open, David Turner is the chair umpire from Australia, and he is joined by Trish Gubb of New Zealand, this service judge. The head-to-head, well, they are no strangers to each other. 5-4, 9 previous meetings, this the 10th. That's 5 in favour of the Indonesian pair, who have won the last 2 meetings as well, as it's game on in the men's doubles final.
Oh, super quick to the front there. Lee, he is going to look for every opportunity to move forward and take the shuttle early. Big smash, and then he moved in and put the shuttle away.
Again there, if you blink, you miss it. A service point like that, so quick. The reactions at the net. Thing that time. Just catching the net. The Indonesians are on the scoreboard.
Oh, good anticipation there from Fang. 3-1. Really read the play very well. Superb smashing there from Setiawan. One thing you'll find with the Indonesian pairs is they're never short of flamboyance. Always coming up with something new, something exciting for the crowd.
It's wide from Lee, as you can hear the chant of Indonesia. Indonesia coming up. They know who their favourites are. The Beijing gold medalists, Kido and Setiawan. Well, somehow that came back off the net from Lee. Kido and Setiawan are in front. The Indonesians lead 4-3.
Oh, just hitting the top of the tape.
Fabulous shot there from our net cam. And again, you see how fast this...
So look at that angle from Kido. Just changing the direction, setting up his partner at the front court. Setiawan coming up with the winner. This is a beautiful angle there. The reverse backhand drive across court. The crowd are enjoying it already.
They're making plenty of noise. It's 5-3 to the Indonesian pair. 6-3 now.
6-3.
And it will be Kido to serve.
Oh, well played. Just pushing it past the front player there.
4-6.
There's all sorts of gaps on the court. It's just difficult to find them, and you could see from that point there that Lee was able to find the gap.
Just wouldn't go over again from Lee.
Service over.
So it's all about the angles, isn't it?
4.
Oh, and that shuttle nearly lifted over the net. You see it spinning from the tape.
Setiawan's turn to only find the net.
Over. 5-7.
This is a common theme in men's doubles as well, that it takes a while for both pairs to settle in. They're getting used to the opposition. The angles and the flight of the shuttle. There's a strong smash from Kido.
Service over.
Just kissing up over 253 kilometres an hour as well. Finding the angle, spotting the opening, drilling it home. It's a 3-point gap. Fang returns the favour, 271 that time.
8.
We're upping the ante here. Big slice of good fortune from Kido.
Sometimes you'll find that the best thing to do is to just try and touch it back over the net, particularly if the server is a little bit casual with not putting pressure on at the front court. Oh, there it is.
That looked like trouble.
Big smashing from Lee.
Service over.
Again, pushing the 269, 270 kilometres an hour. Big jump smash. And great elevation off the floor.
Good serve. Setiawan looking to be aggressive and attack it. And there, Fang unhappy with himself for that one.
You could just see his body weight was fading backwards into the court instead of coming forward. He was just fading away there with his footwork. Probably the difference between dragging into the net.
11-8 interval.
And so after a frenetic opening, 5 minutes on the clock in the men's doubles final, it's the Indonesian pair leading the Chinese Taipei pair 11-8. So the 6th seed have got it up over the 3rd seeds for the moment. It's a 3-point lead. But it just all happens so quickly. How can you tell who's got the upper hand really at this stage?
Yeah, you really can't, and often men's doubles starts at a frenetic pace with both pairs starting to get used to the opposition's speed and aggressiveness, and it starts to sort of come back down to a more measurable level now as we go into the second part of the first game. You'll see the defence and counter-attack become much more important than the pushing around the net and the big smashes. It'll turn around and be the counter-attack that becomes the crucial element of who takes the ascendancy in the second part of this first game.
Seconds. Wait, please.
The Sydney Opera House sitting down there by Circular Quay. A fabulous place, cafes everywhere around there as well. It really is one of the most spectacular views of the harbour city.
11-8. Play.
The Indonesian pair of Kido and Setiawan leading 11-8 in the first game. 12-8 now.
12-8. Service over. 9-12.
Oh, fantastic angle there from Kido. He got up off the ground, was able to drag it cross court.
Service over.
Just the change of direction that caught the Chinese Taipei pair. That's what doubles is all about.
The reaction speed of these men, just incredible. And then to think, getting the racket there in opposition is one thing, then trying to direct it, change the angle. Quite remarkable. It's a 5-point game now to Kido and Setiawan. And it was just about open down the line there for Kido, but he found the top of the tape again.
10-14.
It's him really throwing himself out to the sideline. Well, that was unlucky. The flexibility in Setiawan's wrist there, changing the direction on the backhand return. Beautiful play, but just wide.
That time, he finds the net, Setiawan. So Fang and Lee come right back into it. Feng just popped that up, didn't he?
And as we saw in the mixed doubles, the first three shots of every rally can be incredibly important to the setup for the rally, and often you can win your cheap points by the good serve, good return, or good third shot. Superb defence.
It's long, and just when it looked as though the Chinese Taipei pair were just reeling in their Indonesian counterparts, it's back out to a 4-point game. And that's wide as well from Lee, who couldn't control the defence on the third time of asking. And it's back out to 5 points.
12.
Indonesia leading 17-12.
Kido just being caught out of position there. The racket wasn't quite up around his head where he needed it to be.
13-17.
That time the positioning better, and the finish as well. Splitting the Chinese Taipei pair. 18-13, they're edging closer to this opening game. Not like that.
Just a loose serve there from Setiawan, put himself under too much pressure to retrieve the return. He's missed a couple of them. He's made some great smashes overhead. Just a couple of the ones out wide on the forehand side now is the second error. Just maybe going for a little bit too much when he wasn't in good position. Having said that, it was probably only half an inch off the top of the tape.
And again, just changing the angle. Feng was heading right, he had to adjust, couldn't in time. 19-15, 2 points away now from the opening game. 1 point now. Brilliant work at the net from Setiawan. Game point at 20-15.
Game point, 15.
Going down without a fight.
Service over. 16.
The fairly ambitious cross-court net there. You don't get away with that very often in men's doubles from Kido. He paid the price.
Over it.
Indonesians will want to maintain the attack. And there it is. A beautiful drop shot.
Brilliant reception from Setiawan as the Indonesians, the Beijing Olympic Games gold medalists, take out the opening game of the men's doubles final, 21 points to 16. And really, it was the Indonesian pair that just tried to make things happen more, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they certainly were controlling from the front part of the court a lot better than their opponents. Really focusing, and even Kido was probably also the difference just in the angles and the change-up in the angles that he was able to come up with in some of those rallies when he was in attack. And we saw there, Setiawan's in the last point, his ability to take the pace off. Also a great variation, particularly in that situation. It is fast and furious. That's probably why the crowd loves it so much, and it's great to hear the support for the Indonesians out here today. You know, they're always very passionate badminton supporters, and they love a good match, and they love nothing better than their team winning.
that opening game has gone the way of the number 6 seeds. And they really did teach the number 3 seeds a bit of a lesson in there. They were quick out of the blocks and they made them pay, taking it out 21-16. Well, it was Port Jackson as it's officially known, Sydney Harbour as it's known and loved by all around the world. It is a famous tourist destination from the 4 corners of the globe. The lifestyles of the rich and famous abound in your big yacht on Sydney Harbour. There's also some action for the badminton fans as well down in Darling Harbour. It's the final of the men's doubles, where the Indonesian pair of Kido and Setiawan have made their first final of 2012 and are looking good after that opening game and taking it by 5 points to making it their first tournament victory as well. Long from Lee.
It's really important in this start of the second game for the Chinese Taipei pair to settle quickly into their work. Oh, he's just so powerful from the back of the court. 280 kilometres an hour. When he liked it too.
Just having to take that little breather, wasn't he, in between with the little deceptive drop shot before pulling out all the stops for number 4. He is one of the great draw cards on the circuit. Markis Kido, 27 years of age. Former world number 1s, currently ranked 12 in the Badminton World Federation rankings. And Fang that time, not quite an unforced error, I guess, when you're defending a Kido smash, but he had time, didn't he, to react to that one?
Yeah, that's right. And at this level, he really needs to make those shots. That world ranking of number 12 is probably a little bit unfair on the Indonesian pair. They're certainly better than that. Probably just haven't been playing as many tournaments of recent times. Oh, Kido on the floor, comes up with it. He never loses sight of the shuttle. Saw that in the semi-final yesterday. He hit a few shots from on the floor. He just has that uncanny ability. The Taipei pair very disappointed to lose that point.
Well, when you've got one man down on the ground, you're only up against one all of a sudden. It was fantastic awareness from Kido. And there, just making them pay now. 6-3. You can ill afford to let them get the jump on you like this.
And that's that Indonesian flamboyance that comes into the match. It really gets the crowd into it. You can hear they're chanting their name. Oh, just a loose error there from Setiawan.
Service over. 4.
Had an opportunity to take a 3-point lead there.
Just wide from Lee.
Setiawan's no slouch with the smash either at 274 kilometres an hour.
4.
Just about average for men's doubles these days.
And again, Kido right into the body as well. Fang just unable to get it back.
Fairly tame for him, 259 kilometres an hour, but effective nonetheless due to the direction.
He fires up again, and they're having real trouble just trying to control those smashes, aren't they now? He's also mixing up the speed of them, isn't he, by some 20, 30, sometimes more kilometres an hour.
Yeah, he's constantly changing the speed and changing the angle, and I think that's what's confusing the pair from Chinese Taipei. Oh, Setiawan at the net. He was all over it. You can see the momentum in the game is really controlled a lot from the front court. You know, everyone appreciates the big smashing, but there's some work done at the front court to settle that up, and it's the Indonesians' ability to control that front court that allows them to control the back of the court as well.
And they are starting to run away with this one. Kido and Setiawan from Indonesia. They now lead Fang and Lee in the second game, 11 points to 4. Well, it doesn't look like there's any stopping them now. The game's just getting away, isn't it, from Fang and Lee?
Well, Fang and Lee just don't seem to be able to find the ability to control the front court, and they're just ending up lifting it into the back court. And you know, Kido at the back with his big smash, and Setiawan with his ability to cover the front court. It's really this is probably their best position, with Kido creating from the back. And the pair from Chinese Taipei are really struggling to stay in it. They're disappointed, just a little out of sorts with the variation from the Indonesians today.
$20 seconds. 20 seconds.
21-16, 11-4. Kido and Setiawan leading.
Please wait. Please wait. 11-4. Play.
Oh, just the gentle point back after the technical timeout.
11.
And Kido, just a little lapse in concentration.
I think this is what the crowd wants to see. They want to see the Chinese Taipei pair come back, try and push this to a third game. I'd love to see it go down to the wire.
Setiawan finding the tape. 3 consecutive points now for the pair from Chinese Taipei.
Seeing there just taking a little bit of the pace off, just dragging it down into the net. That was a superb return from Setiawan.
Service over. 12.
Just have to be millimetre perfect with your serves, otherwise you're punished.
Setiawan making up for that earlier mistake on the smash that time.
And really focusing on the right hip there of Fang. It's very difficult to defend right on that right hand hip.
Playing that time with a great touch at the net, just getting the roll over and dropping down, no angle at all for Kido to work with. They still trail by 5 though. Now 4.
And that's what they need. They need a few loose errors, and this can happen sometimes with the Indonesian pairs. They're so flamboyant, they sometimes get a little bit loose in their intensity.
That just bounced up off the top of the tape, didn't it? Was just inviting Lee to put it away, which he did.
You don't get away with that. He's so fast to move forward.
Service over.
See how close 14, he was. Oh, beautiful.
10.
A great angle there from the net camera.
And there he does his work from the backcourt as well.
We just haven't seen the Chinese Taipei pair get any sense of comfort in their defence at all. They've just been punished from the back of the court.
Just flicking the racket at that one, Kido. But that has been the real difference, hasn't it? Kido smashing, and just the inability of the Chinese Taipei pair to offer any sort of resistance.
We just haven't seen them really in an attacking formation for such a long time. We haven't seen them do 3 or 4 smashes in a row or have the ascendancy from the attack. It's been all Indonesia.
Service over.
16-12.
16.
Kido and Setiawan, they aren't running away with it in this second game, but they are maintaining that 4-point buffer. And with every couple of points, they do get closer towards a championship point.
And that's the first point for a long time that we've actually seen them be able to counter-attack through changing the direction. And they've had 2 or 3 smashes in a row and they've won the point, so maybe that's the great skill of the Indonesian pair, is that they don't give up the shuttle easily. They don't throw the shuttle up in the air. They prefer to push it around.
And just when it looked as though the table may be turning. How about that from Setiawan, and then Kido as well.
He just wrapped the racket round his head, I think. And then Kido comes forward for the easy put away. Just the power from Setiawan from that position. You know, I've never seen a player play a shot like that before. It's a fantastic play.
Improvisation as well. Every game, every point different.
Thank you.
And just having the little let time out.
Play.
Changing the grip on the racket for Kido. Giving that a big old workout. Now that is just very disappointing really from Lee. Not much more you can say. It's back out to 5 and they're 3 points potentially from the championship now. (14-18). Sheng to serve.
A bit of loose play there from Kido, pushing that shuttle up. Oh, and he's pushed it wide. He went for the line. He probably thought to himself, we're 18-14, I'll have a go.
15-18.
Probably just pushed it about 2 inches wide of the sideline, and he knows it.
He just tried to mix it up a little bit as well in there, but just got tired with all that leaping about in the backcourt. Let's finish this. Now, is there to be a twist in the tail of this one? Lee claims it was long. It's called good by the linesman. 19-15 now. Kido to serve.
They're on fire. They can sense victory now.
And they have brought up multiple championship points now. 289 kilometers an hour. That second from Kido. And surely now they are back and moving back to the top of the men's doubles game. It's landed in. It's all over. A misjudgment at the back from the Chinese Taipei pair. And Kido and Setiawan have done it in rapid fire and in some comfort as well. The Indonesian pair defeating Fang and Lee from Chinese Taipei 21-16, 21-15.
Match 1 by Markis Kido Hendra Setiawan, 21-16.
And the Olympic champions
21-15.
showing just why and how they did that.
They did it pretty easy in the end. It certainly was an intense match, and obviously the Indonesian pair just that slight class above on the day. They really outclassed their opponent. You couldn't see the Taipei pair really making any inroads to the match at all. Once the Indonesians got their game in order, they really didn't give any free points away. They were very solid, and it's great to have them back on the tour.
Well, once you see at this level, at this height, at this standard, when you see just a 2 or 3 or 4 point gap open up, it's so hard to peg it back, isn't it?
No, almost impossible. They're not giving any free points away. We go to the highlight reel, and there's plenty of them. Plenty of jumping and leaping and a lot of fast racket work. Lots of Kido jumping around and pumping the fist. And that brilliant round the head shot off the serve that was clearly past him just showed how flexible and capable Setiawan is of coming up with some brilliant play.
Well, it lasted just under half an hour in the end, but the number 6 seeds against the number 3 seeds, the Indonesians Kido and Setiawan, defeating Fang and Lee of Chinese Taipei 21-16, 21-15. And the trophy presentation is coming right up now. And it's Paul Satio, the managing director of Crown International, one of the tournament sponsors here, to present the silver medals for the losing finalists. Fang Chieh and Lee Sheng. They get their little kangaroos. Kangaroos for the losing finalists, koalas for the winners this year at the Australian Badminton Open. And the winners, and didn't they do it in style as well? From Indonesia, the former world number 1s, Markis Kido and Hendra Setiawan, the two 27-year-olds. And once they got their noses in front, it never looked like they were gonna not get their hands on those trophies. And let's hope they're back next year as well to defend their titles as the Yonex Australian Badminton Open continues to grow in stature. Well, it's been a fantastic men's doubles, and coming up next, there's more action from the Australian Badminton Open 2012 in Sydney.